I should grab that seed number and have that at the start of the VOD. Whoops. Oh, fuck yes. They made me start with a missile launcher. That is incredibly good. Oh, yeah. It's not fast. I'll tell you that. Thankfully, you can just hold the A button and it will... the slow robot will get faster. Also, yes, I'm using a different HUD setup this time. Just because I felt like testing it out and see if I like it or if I hate it. And also... Should my shoulder button... Okay, yeah. I have the randomizer set so that way it randomizes the visual effects of the gun. So for anybody who's like, oh, that laser beam is the wrong color. You're correct, actually. But that's the only real visual change that I've bothered to do here. Compared to last time, I took a couple of things out of the seed because I'm very bad at this game. And at least part of that is down to the fact that, like, doing certain things in Metroid games has historically always been awkward. But, oh boy, this game is actually significantly worse about quite a lot of it. And even then, there are certain things that are just like, we're going to push your knowledge of the engine to the limits. And I don't know some of these things that well. Like... There are a couple of rooms where they basically expect you to crack the cracky blocks that you can't walk on properly from below. And you better believe I don't know how to do that. Oh, our wave beam is literally right there as soon as we can get the ball, which is great, because that'll let us do a nice chunk more damage once we actually find the ball. Unfortunately, it's always very possible that the game has decided to take its ball and go home. Until we find that out, well, you will just have to deal. Oh shit, is that the super missile already? Oh yes. I am very, gonna have a good time with that. Probably. I think that opened some areas for us, but I don't recall. It may just give us more damage, which, I mean, in this game, that's pretty good. Metroid Fusion, even aside from the amount of movement tech and stuff involved... Oh no, it's diffusion missiles. That's not super missiles. They're kind of nice, but hey. Yeah, Fusion, even aside from the amount of, like, more intense movement technology that's involved with a lot of stuff, is just kind of a much harder game than a lot of prior Metroids. You take more damage... Sometimes things require more damage. It kind of makes a little bit of sense because Fusion is really the point where I would say Metroid started to actually go in on the idea of like, oh hey, this is a sci-fi horror franchise on some level. We're gonna make it actually feel like that a little bit. Oh, there's our Superman. Wow, we're getting, like, all the missile upgrades in a nice little clump. I am all for this. Don't jump in the lava. That would be bad. So, like, yeah, in Super Metroid, you had some stuff that was explicitly a little bit more horror-coded than previous Metroid games. Like how you had the statue that attacks you. Chorizo or whatever his name was. No, I remember it was Torizo. that thing, which is just kind of like an outright jump scare. And there's a couple of other things that are a little bit jump scare-ish. But definitely it's one of the first places where it's like, okay, we're actually trying to make a horror series. Or maybe it's just that they finally had the specs to actually do it. And then Fusion continues in that tradition. We just don't get to see a lot of it because, at least not in a rando, because by virtue of it being in an open randomizer, there we go, we'll put that as the main phrase, so it's you know, open-ended exploration and stuff. We don't have to deal with any of the SAX chases, which is a phrase that out of context doesn't really sound that terrifying. It's like, what do you mean a sax chase? Like Benny Hill? No. I swear it's something that's actually scary. High jump! Jump ball is completely pointless right now. Yeah! Good stuff, though. So, yeah, I mean, there's ways to exploit the sax chases and make them significantly less scary if you aren't really capable of getting immersed. But even outside of that, that stuff does still kind of, like, rack my nerves a little bit, even at this point. And I've played this game multiple times. I mean, I don't remember a goddamn thing from it most of the time, but hey, that's kind of how I get with any game. But then you have Metroid Dread, which is explicitly in that sort of area. Metroid Prime is a little bit kind of horror-ish. And I would say that the rest of the Prime games try a little bit. But also, I mean, on the other hand, at least part of it is diffused for Prime 2 because of the whole nature of Dark Ether being, well... right. I don't have balls, so I can't get through, can I? And unfortunately, that gate is going to relock behind me, I'm sure. So, yeah, we can't go through here. I hope that the gate didn't relock, otherwise I have to reset and lose, like, 12 minutes of progress. Son of a bitch, I've got to reset and lose, like, 12 minutes of progress. Well. Yeah. That's, on paper, a little bit embarrassing, but whatever, shit happens. I could just use the return to start option up here, the warp button, but you lose all unsaved progress if you do that, so I would just have to do this again anyway. Now, we do like having some missile upgrades, so we're gonna go back this way. We also probably could really stand to get high jump. And I believe that gate is the only one-way section for us to deal with for a bit. Okay, right. This will go get us to diffusion missiles. we got the super missile to pick up, and we should get the high jump and then get out. Well, okay, I slightly overdid that, but whatever. Big whoop! It's fine. Wow, fighting those guys is really starting to look pointless when I can't jump over them very well. Then again, I may also be hustling a little bit over much because of the whole gotta redo content frustration, you know? Alright. We got the goods, back we go. There is a save point in the other direction. And I think something I can actually access right now, so I'm gonna go and take a crack at that. Worst comes to worst, we have a save point where we have our missile upgrades at least. And then sure, we gotta run back through this area in order to get the high jump, but whatever. Yeah, we can't even go in that room right now, but that room over there is the wall jump room. I took that one out of the rotation because wall jumping in this game just kind of sucks. Okay, yeah, there's actually nothing here. Never mind. Oh, right. That room is the one that has the wave beam. That's why that's like that. Right. Hooray! We got the thing back. Now I have to go to a save point before I can warp out of here. Try and double check mentally if there's anywhere else I can go. And the answer is no. Isn't. Not until I get the screw attack or the ball or the wave beam or just like a lot of things really. Fine, I'll just use a missile on that guy. I wanted some energy back, but Yeah, that wasn't going to happen after the missile. In fact, even before the missile, it might not have happened, but hey. Missile. Also, at least we have some sort of way of freezing, which is good. That's kind of helpful under certain circumstances, really. Not all of them because of... But hey. Some places it just doesn't do anything for you. Like that lava room, it's not going to help us there. Kidding me? Yeah. Hey. Get out of here. Get out. Wait. No, it's not that way. I swear. Okay, back we go, back we go, back we go. Okay. Rough right in my face there. Fan blowing straight on your face can be a little bit, not always as good as it sounds. Make your eyes sting a little bit sometimes from stuff. Anyway. We're in this place again. Yes, yes, the Vibra Slap that I am not doing a very good job of giving a fair shake here. There we go. And there is our speed booster. I told you we were getting this thing before Ball. Because of course we're getting that thing before Ball. But that delightful piece of useless crap lets us, first of all, refill our missiles, and second of all, save. Then warp back, and then we can go open some stuff. See, I was getting there eventually, I just kind of screwing it up a little bit. As that should be faster than the alternative. Kind of. Ah, missile pack. That's not progression, but it is useful. Is admittedly continuing to proceed with only 10 or 15 missiles is kind of nerve-wracking in its way. It's like, oh, I can fuck up and I can lose these so easily. And meanwhile, that's just another missile pack. That's fine, though. For now, fairly useful. I just could really use ball. Or, like, space jump or something. Space jump would allow us to escape from a very specific place. So that's why I'm putting that forward as, like, hey, that would be helpful. Not a fix everything sort of solution, but it fixes, like, one thing, and that's pretty good. You gotta give some credit where it's due there, because it does something for us. Meanwhile, missile packs are more of a quality of life thing, really. Can't go there. No ball yet. Cannot become an orb and ponder ourselves. As much fun as that sounds like. Wow, that's not helpful yet. Knows for a while it may not be at all. Wanted to kill that before I go save. Because this is where I get to go, okay, can I get out of this room? After I pick up some items. And for that matter, I may not be able to even get to all of those either. I forget. Yeah, see, there's an energy tank. Can walk up here, and it's just another energy tank. Well, going to fight Arachnus right now is probably a soft lock, but we're going to give it a shot anyway. Because we're also going to see this thing die hilariously fast. So it's not like we wasted much time as a result. Yeah, see, and we cracked the core in one shot, so... And it's just a missile tank. Yeah, there's no escape from that room after that point, so back we go. Note to self, come back there later, because it's got some goodies. But for now... we do have more of the main deck of the ship that we can explore. Ship, station. I guess a space station kind of counts as a type of spaceship. In a certain sense, it is a very large vehicle in space, and it transports things. So, what I'm saying is, fuck you, I'm saying it counts now. And if you disagree, well, good for you. Yeah, the things up there are making gross noises. They literally don't matter until much later. day room. Whoops. Can't do that, but you can pick up the data room item. And it's a missile tank. Well, that's useful and all, it just doesn't get me anywhere. And still kind of feel like I'm missing some essential items at this point, but hey. May yet find some more of them, who knows. Well, we have nothing right now in terms of gaining anything out of that, really. Can't go through the green doors. Really, it's just a waste of time to interact with Arachnus. You can't go down to that area, down to the reactor. We surely cannot go to that area that has the speed booster tunnel under the floorboards, right? Like, we can go in... Oh, yeah, we can't even get that item anyway. It needs power bombs. I think technically there's another item over there, but that might require ball for all I know. And right now, Samus does not have ball to use. So... back we go. Right. I think I have a little bit of stuff to save. It's not very much, so... still, we will go and save. And then we warp back over to the other side. Those things make a gross noise because of some reason. We're still no closer to getting anything in Sector 1. I think Sector 2 is kind of a dead end right now in terms... Oh no, there's some places we can poke around in Sector 2. Not many, but there's some. Or blue. Well, in that case, we can go try the data room door. I doubt it's going to be vanilla level 1 locks again. Was semi-recently, I think. And I just sort of did that because I was like, I don't know what else I can do here. Yeah, it's a missile tank. You can actually see that at the start of the cutscene. At that point, I probably could have just, like, ended it early, honestly. Sector 4 is the place where they give you these things. There's a couple of blue doors there. Fortunately, I think it's more that stuff is blocked by the use of bombs there. Well, whatever. I'm going to go and try to see if I can get the item in the Sector 2 location here. I don't recall if this is a thing that requires ball, but it's very, very likely that it... Hey. Yeah, and it requires bombs, too, on top of that, so... You're double locked out of that. Yeah, so nothing we can do in this sector at the moment. Means now we just kind of try shit for a while. There are a few areas we can go to in Sector 3, technically, I think. Sector 4 is surprisingly locked, despite how good this looks on paper. Sector 5 is a no-go. We need ball for that. And Sector 6, I don't really think we can do a whole lot in Sector 6 right now. But I guess Sector 3 is our next place to go check out. Oh, right. I've got to just run off the edge there. Right. And I think we spin in midair to get a little bit more gains. This is going to be a hell room, right? Oh, yeah, we bleeding. We're not doing that. Can just go in here, though, so at least there's that going. Oh, it doesn't look like it. Not unless I can somehow kill these dudes. Oh, I can! Alright. Didn't know that! That would appear to widen my options a great deal. Well, okay, maybe not a great deal, but a tiny bit, anyway. Tiny. Yeah, okay, so whatever I was saying before about it actually giving me options, I'm full of shit. Again. Man. There's like one recourse in this section, and I don't know if I can actually use it. Okay, no, we can actually do this. I just have to pop the whole thing open. Okay, and... Right. I can't really do much here, but I might be able to get something from out of here. Well, it only requires high jump. And it's our ball, thank goodness. I love my ball. Anyway, now that we have that, we still don't have access to power bombs because we only picked up a single tank and not the actual item that lets you use them. But we can also complete Sector 1 and access a couple of other things. For example, we can actually go kill Arachnus if we want to. I mean, we don't really have to at the moment, but it's there, and it's 2 energy tanks. Oh, right. Oh, right. Also, I can access that. I just have to go back and remember to go pick up the fucking wave beam. Because I forgot about that. Haha. Does our beam penetrate walls? This and... yes, I very rarely get to see what the wave beam looks like with just that in this game, because usually abilities cannot be toggled off by default in Metroid Fusion for some reason. I don't know that that's ever been even, like, turned into a hack either. But you get the wave beam so late that you already have a bunch of other beam effects stacked that you cannot turn off. So this is like maybe my first time actually seeing this. I just think it's neat. Excellent. Should let us appear in the boss room at the back, I guess. Something which for some reason argued to have value. It said maybe argued to have value. Truth be told, really, but hey, used to that by now. Watch this channel. Anyway. Yeah, I don't know what's up with it. I need to find a new solution that does that better. I'll figure, actually. I didn't realize that was a one-shotter with the super missile. That was great. Totally unnecessary, but hey. So we've now basically cleared this area out of any of the stuff we can get at this point. So save and return. And now that we're here, we may as well go and, well, first we gotta move slightly to allow the game to take my elevator input. We may as well go and, first of all, go fight Arachnus and get those items. And second of all, maybe explore the spider lair for a couple of things that we can get. Because, yes. Ooh, bombs. Very good. Very important. I love explosives. And also the various abilities that bombs give us access to. Not just my general positivity toward blowing shit up. Although, to be honest here, that is not detracted from in any way here. The recovery room, we don't really need that right now, but technically we could do it. Oh, I see. Well, I have no idea if I'll be there, because time? It's a strange thing. I'm very bad about ever showing up to streams, period, so... Yeah, like I said, we've seen this before. So we know that there's 2 energy tanks there, and a boss here who has a missile pack that we already know about. Oh, yeah, I'm hitting that too early. Takes 5 missiles to kill the main form, and then that thing takes almost nothing. By almost nothing, I mean it's 3 missiles in normal mode. So because we already have super missiles, it's a one-shotter. Just makes the whole thing feel even less necessary, really, but hey. In the back of my head, I am kind of thinking that that looks like some sort of TMNT monster, but I can't place which one, so... Even aside from the fact where it's like just a turtle. Oh, yeah. Go in there yet. Need power bombs. Or the red key card. Either way, we are going backwards. Hold up, there's a there that I think might just be like a passage. I don't remember if there's any valuables here. Yeah, no, this is just a passage. That's just there so you can escape. And go back and re-explore some parts of the ship later. Because otherwise this game gets very heavily gated off. And a large amount of being able to do any of that stuff is just like, hey, find the hidden passages. It might have been. I can't place a lot of that stuff, period, very well. Ah, right. Going all of that way requires the blue card, so we can't quite do all of this yet, but we can definitely get shot and knocked into electrified water, because that's always fun. Ah, okay. Yeah, I was only imagining it somewhat, I guess. Ah, I see. Oh, Bebop and Rocksteady, those guys. Oh no, the Worm Dingler got 8 at some point. Got 8. You know, sorry, that's a Stanley Parable joke. Oops. Alright, well, time for probably a little bit of suffering. And for some of your eardrums to have a bad time, because this isn't the worst boss for that, but oh boy, the bosses in this game, they scream. Although, thank goodness, it only takes 2 hits from our super missile diffusion charges. Otherwise, Ceres can be kind of an asshole to hit. Hooray, we got some actual completion. Unfortunately, it's not abilities, but hey, we already have speed boosters, so we can get out of here at least. Oh, I kind of fucked up there, but I might have enough space to... No. No, I don't have enough space to... That I would need either to actually wall jump that good, which LOL, this not in this fucking game. Or I have to go all the way around, which is not that hard, actually. Or I would have to come back with space jump. But to be honest with you, I believe I'm going to have to reset to get out of here anyway. So, fuck it, I may as well just actually get the item before I leave. Yeah, wall jumps in most Metroid games are kind of rough. I mean, they changed that in Metroid Dread because it was like the one good idea that Mercury Steam had. And you might be saying, well, actually, yeah, but they crunched the fuck out of their workers, so like that kind of counterbalances anything positive that I can say about it. I would have to get to a save point and then reset, basically. Or, more correctly, the option is to use a warp command in the options menu, in the start menu. Which, for some reason, my brain's calling a reset. It's like a position reset, specifically. But, because of reasons, it doesn't keep any of your unsaved progress. I assume it's one of those, like, we're just kind of working from what we've got sort of situations here. And that coding it to be different would take some doing. And I can't necessarily expect a project like this to go super fast in terms of building anything. How are we doing? We've got a... well, that happened, but we've got a couple of pretty important items. We just have no key cards, so we cannot go much of anywhere. I also kind of want to go and pick up an item or two that I missed, so... Here. Get there from here. I do not remember what the deal is with this. Is this a... It's got to be like a hidden place in the wall. Yeah, okay. I was like, what? Yeah, I mean, there's reasons why you might want to do it. So I'm operating under the assumption that they would want to have a thing where you can just keep your progress after a save and reset for rando options because of, well, a variety of them. They might not even want to do it. And of course, that's the devs and not necessarily anything to do with Nintendo, but... Oh, geez, that is pretty rough because... Yeah, shit like that. Even before you get into anything personal, because that's also, like, game collection stuff. That's gotta be worth a lot of money. Because of where retro game prices are and stuff like that. As we've kind of commented on before. And of course, with any of those things, it's like, well, good luck getting any of that shit back, because... The outer shell for the lock that normally hides them in. So, like, it kind of sounds like somebody pulled the core on the lock. I'm just judging based on that description, which may not necessarily be the most accurate or anything. Because I guess I don't really know 100% either what this particular storage unit is like. But in the back of my head, I hear that and I'm thinking it's like a... that it's kind of like a bit like a locker on some level, and it has a lock that goes through the hasp, and you have to provide your own security product and stuff of that nature. But I could be wrong. And ultimately, those items are not worth a whole lot, but we'll take them anyway. We're already here, may as well grab them. So... Or on the other hand, that it would be something that has sort of a lock core built into it, and that's the other idea where I was like, oh, so somebody hit that with some sort of core puller or something. Because I don't know for sure, but... Anyway, what do I have access to? Well, I have access to some stuff in Area 2. But yeah, no access to security areas is, well, no security key cards, rather, because those are randomized positions as well, is kind of killing me a little bit, Smalls. Because we can't access that data room, for example, so... We can, however, basically access everything up to, up to where the boss is. The boss that usually gives you high jump. Yes, I've seen all the way through the first 3 parts of JoJo, and then I saw partway through part 4. And then I just read random other bits of the manga. So, yes. That's not entirely wrong. As in, first part, i.e. part 1, i.e. Oh god, the part 1 anime, the part 1 and 2 anime was in 2012. I was about to be like, yeah, it was like a while ago. Suddenly realized it's almost 15 years. Well, Battle Tendency was in the first part of the anime, so... Basically, I saw all the way up through the end of Stardust Crusaders. And then I saw part of Diamond is Unbreakable. I was gonna say Wang, but that's mostly just the nickname of the infamous translation that it had for a while. Yeah, it's a little bit like... Honestly, my feelings on that one kind of go... that it's... I'm pretty sure it was Warner Brothers who was handling the dub, so in the back of my head, I'm just like, you guys have literally infinite money. And also, you probably have access to some of the rights due to, you know, the company at large, but it's probably a little bit more complicated than that. I just feel like, damn, you couldn't even try? But it does sort of end up meddling with some of them, because then you also get... On the other hand, you do get funny shit like... One of the games, they had a... In part 6, I think it was, they had a guy who was named Limp Bizkit, so... You have that character renamed to Flaccid Pancake in one of the games. Which is one of the more infamous goofball, retranslations they've had to do. Well, yeah, not every character has been renamed. Polnareff is still Polnareff. A couple of them that are a little bit more ambiguous have had, like, differing levels of change. The Darby brothers, for example, are, like, Darby the Younger and Darby the Older. Part of this, the reason why they removed both their names, so Daniel J. Darby is just a completely made-up name. Terrence Trent Darby, however, is the name that the musician now operates under the name... hold up, I gotta not choke on my words here a little bit. The musician now operates under the name Sananda Maitreya, but used to be known as Terrence Trent Darby. That one was just straight up named after a whole-ass real person. So, again, it's an interesting sort of thing that happened, but of course, again, it's always about the distributors and how much or little they feel like risking a lawsuit. Because all that needs to happen is that one person had to be a complete, you know, complete clown shoes motherfucker about something at some point in history. And now the well is poisoned forever. Even if it's probably people who don't care that much or might even be somehow honored by it. But, you know, as usual, it's just like, blame the people who have the actual money here. Well, it's very simple. Sometimes they're just very fiercely protective of copyright-related issues. A couple of times there are cases where it's like, okay, if we lose some of the control of the copyright, it could have sort of a knock-on effect of, like... It's kind of why... So, you probably remember from years ago that there was an Earthbound fan game, Mother 4. And this is only semi-related, but it is still kind of in the realm of, like, copyright and trademark stuff. that the main reason they went after it is because there was a presumption that the people who made it could somehow obtain the copyright if it went, the trademark, I believe, rather, if it went undefended. And they were never going to try to do that, and they were never going to do anything malicious with it either. But Nintendo are fucking stupid about that kind of thing. And also, all it takes is one bad person who's like, oh, I can do better than, you know, who thinks that the direction of the canon of any of these games should be different, you know, that Nintendo should be doing other things with their resources because they should, but I digress. In a slightly different way from how it would be expressed by those folks. But the former Mother 4 is still out there under a different name, but I forget what it's called. I haven't really followed up with it very much because I'm always a little bit wary about that sort of thing, because it's like, I highly doubt a lot of people actually are going to be all that good at getting the vibes right, you know? It's just not going to feel like an actual Mother project. But yeah, it's just kind of like, lawsuits suck no matter what, so why chance it? Do I think that the big companies at the helm of a lot of this stuff, which it is, should, you know, maybe not be so ungenerous? Maybe so, but I think that a large part of that would have to be like, a lot of the laws around copyright and stuff would also have to change to make sure that that can't happen, which, of course, whenever I described it, it sounds so stupid that you'd be like, why the fuck can that happen? And you're correct to say that, but hey. Overall, copyright law is very, very weird. And unfortunately, while it, on paper, is probably a good idea to protect certain artists, it's not used for that purpose a lot of the time. But yeah, that's basically why, is that it's not because of the artists, it's because of record labels. Hooray, a powerbomb tank. We still can't use that yet. And right now, we cannot go that way. I mean, there's a way to... There is a way to do it later, I just don't remember how. I think it might actually just require space jump, really. Oh, good lord. I'm looking at my options right now. I'm thinking, if I have to fight Notori with, with, like, nothing, that might be the position I have to go to at some point here. Oh, no, that needs power bombs to get to anyway, so... What's our items look like again? Oh, yeah, the same as before. Right. That still doesn't really do much for me. Go and save real quick. And I'm going to double check that we can't get that item in that one position that is right about just off to the left, basically. A bit of a ways. but nevertheless, basically just right off to the left. Oh, that works. I should be able to get out, too. On the other hand, it's really not worth my time, but... it's just to show that it can be done. Yeah, see, it's just for a power bomb tank. But we were already here, so hell with it. Take it, I'll go back and I'll save, and... then we warp back, and I go, that didn't help me very much. Although, it did get me access to level 3 security, so... not only can I go into Sector 5, which, ew. I mean, I could go into Sector 5 anyway, but... I can do it the quote-unquote normal way. But also, it lets me go into the room where Ridley is being kept. That's right, I still use the not only but also structure. Even though there's been so many things that have been like, oh, well, that's a sign of AI writing. Well, okay, if you think that I'm artificial, well, I think you don't have a brain, so maybe we're even. I don't know. So, shut up, nerd. This is dangerous, but it's just an energy tank. That's okay. That's still kind of useful. Well, probably not as much as I would like. Because I assume that a large part of that area is, like, just classified as frozen, so... our amount of interactions there might be a bit reduced, but... try. No, wait, no, wrong one. Double check for any other level 3 doors, I guess, just sure. Yeah, they seem to mostly be a Sector 5 thing. Well, okay. Does let me get some hints, though, I think. Yeah, that's just a power bomb tank. But I do want to see about getting this item. There is something very weird about getting this, if I recall correctly. There we go. Okay, so it's literally just that every time I was trying to get it before, I was jumping in the wrong spot. Yeah, I would do that, wouldn't I? Charge beam! We kind of need that, but also gonna have to hit this guy in the actual face in order to do damage to him. But let's clean these guys out so that way I don't have to deal with that. I just want him gone because he's a problem otherwise. There we go. We got the charge beam. That is very good. Unfortunately, it doesn't truly give us progression until the very end. But it does mean that it was required. And it wouldn't be a bad idea to go save with that. I just want Space Jump to deal with that. Oh, yeah, that's damage room. Because Samus's Metroid blood means that she freezes now. Just put on a jacket, jeez. It's fine, you've got a jacket. Alright. It's a joke from, like, DBZ Abridged or something. Well, there's our space jump. That is kind of nice. There is, however, also an item that requires the use of the speed booster here, so set this up. It's the powerbomb tank. Oh well. I'm sure those will be useful eventually when we get the powerbomb in like 20 years. Oh, yeah. You know what? Let's check out the hints and see if you got any real information for me yet, dude. Fuck you. Can't believe you would play me like this. Ah, yeah, that needs that thing, so not very useful to me. But there's definitely some areas that we can explore here that do not require the use of bombs, or do not require the use of power bombs, rather. Do require the use of bombs, and several of them really want me to have security level 2, but hey. Sometimes you just gotta deal with what you have, or to become disappointed or something, I don't know. Oh, shit. I done goofed. And there's our level 1 security pass, which we need to get our first level bus pass there. Come on. You gotta learn how to take the L. Probably in more ways than one in my case, but I digress. You see, the actual joke here is that it's in reference to Chicago public transit, because I was born and raised in Chicago, but take the L also sounds like admit that you've lost. And I historically have been bad at that. Like, mostly as a joke, but still. Okay. We have to go back here the old-fashioned way. Yeah, let's not jump into that security room right now, because that could be a one-way path. But we've got a couple of things we can do now. We can do absolutely nothing new in Sector 1, but in Sector 2, we have access to a data room. And we have a couple of other items that we have access to. So, my assumption is going to be that that is where I want to go. Or else go to the pump room in Sector 4. Which I think would open up a couple of items in that area, but I don't completely remember. And also, it is just as likely that some of them still require me to use the, to have the gravity suit. Make me very happy, but it's the way it goes. Yeah. That's just a missile tank. Well, I know that the security room for level 1, where you would normally get the blue key card, is currently occupied by a missile tank as well. Because I did that earlier when I wasn't completely sure if I had other options, but I was so close to it anyway, so I was just like, well, you know what? Screw it. Let's find out. My time isn't that valuable. Oh, fuck off, Firefox. Technically, I know that I can update that, but, like, I don't feel like it. Yeah, in fact, I'm not even going to go for that right now. If I come back here later and I just have nothing else to do, sure. But as it stands, I don't think that's super likely. Plasma beam can be found. Okay, yeah, so a boss has it. It would probably behoove us to just go kill every boss that we can get access to as soon as we can. I can just ignore that whole room. Excellent. Very easy. Shockingly easy, honestly. That, a little bit less so. Oh, I have to actually place a bomb there. Never mind. I was like, I can just skip this too. I cannot. Hit it. Yes, we have successfully played Zelda's Lullaby. The water is lowering, and there is a missile upgrade of some kind here. It's the ice missiles. So now we should have all the missile upgrades, I think. Which is great. I don't know if I need all of those. Certainly not so soon, but hey. There's no... have red key card access. And we also don't have the gravity suit. That's an item. That's something pretty good. That's like... That's the main power bomb. Finally, yes. That is super important. That gets us access to a lot of things. Some of them possibly even kind of good. Some of them probably also just missile packs. I mean, it does also give us access to that jackass spider from... I was about to say from Mega Man X, but that's not... It's not that jackass spider. It's a different jackass spider. Warp back to start, because it's a little faster. There's certainly fewer elevators to work out. Elephants to work out, wait. It's the thing in the first Sigma Fortress in Mega Man X1 that I'm referring to, which is technically just called Boss Spider, I think. I always find it really tedious. Not necessarily a hard boss, but it definitely is like, wow, this is a huge fucking waste of my time. Yeah, I guess there would be at least 2 nothings in the rotation because I have the starting item plus I start with an energy tank. So that threw me off, but I guess it makes total sense. There would in fact be 2 nothings in the pool. There's no reason to go up there because we don't have the red stuff yet. Oh god, not the bees! Not the bees! Yeah, anything to say here, dude? Oh, I already got that. Thanks. Get our missile pack. God, I don't want to fight this guy with no suit. I mean, I can probably do it. I'm gonna have a very bad time, but I believe it's doable. I also don't know if there's any reason to right now. For all I know, he doesn't have anything. He could just have, like, a fucking power bomb tank, and I'd just be like, this is the biggest waste of time anybody's ever wasted. But it was confirmed that a Korex has our plasma beam, so for all I know, he also could have plasma beam, which is a huge boof. A huge boof. I tried to say boost and buff at the same time there. Good work, me. Be a huge boon to us. There we go. That's a word choice, I guess. It would be a huge Daniel boon to us to pick that up. Well, I mean, that's a little bit more than just, but... Okay, I'm going back to save now. I was like, can I at least go backwards after I open the eyeball? And the answer is no, I cannot go backwards after I open the eyeball. I have to go through that spider or die trying. You know, at least our charge beam charges up real fast. If it's going to take like 800 shots to kill a space pirate, at least we have that going for us. Oh, boy! That was a lot of damage we just took there, on top of the fact that... Well, first of all, how far back am I? Okay, I'm not that far back. I can just enter Yakuza's lair from the back. And yes, I did look it up semi-recently. For some reason, the spider boss's official name is Yakuza. And fair play to whoever wrote the guide for Prima of just calling it Spider Boss. Because first of all, where do you find this information outside of like Japanese manuals? And second of all, why is the spider called Yakuza? It has like nothing... There's nothing that makes sense about that, really. Anyway, let's see if we want to barf trying to fight this guy with no suit. And I think the answer there is going to be that I do. Like, is it because of the scarred eyeball? I don't know. Oh, I was way off there. That was truly unfortunate. Yeah, and this is at a point where you have all the missile upgrades except for the diffusion missile. So we're not going to be getting any shortcuts in terms of damaging this fool. Maybe the beam is good, but I doubt it. Oh, that actually seemed pretty alright, because he's changed colors already. That usually happens a little bit later in the fight. He's showing some signs of damage. And he's also whooping our asses either way. That could be a lot more doable, actually, if I just fight better. I mean, I still don't like doing the fight on 500 energy and no suit, but compared to what I was expecting, from what I remember of how fucking rough this guy is, that is marginally better. Kind of. Oh, and then we jumped straight into his jaws. Here I was hoping my iframes would save me a little bit. Ow! Oh my god, with no suit, he does over an energy tank of damage to you when he gives you the nuclear suplex. This might not actually be quite as effective of a strategy as I was hoping, but it definitely seemed good for a bit there. Fuck, we're dead. That's on me for not wanting to give up my charge that is, like, very easy to get. This is doable, I just don't like it. And also, I legitimately have no idea if there's any real reward for doing this, so... For all I know, this is literally just going to be for another missile pack or something. But I'm going to try it anyway. If nothing else, in theory, it will get me to, like, be in a better state of using my mind brain for this. For when it eventually comes up that I do have to fight this guy basically naked. Because it's got to happen sometime. You play a randomizer enough, you will get at least one seed that is just complete sicko bullshit, right? Where it's just like, why would you do this? Oh, wait, it's because it's a machine that doesn't have any sort of... It only checks to make sure that it's possible, not that it's enjoyable. I was going to say, he turns red eventually, right? But I think it's literally only in this phase. Where he abruptly becomes, like, significantly... although, I say significantly easier. Those chunks are still, like, 45 damage each. Alright, come on. Let's engage at least one brain cell here. The big problem is that I just really suck about thinking about these angles on the fly. And going like, where is he going to be? Where can I go to not get, you know, hit by this guy's, you know, to not get put in the camel clutch? You get it like a camel spider? That wasn't even the intended joke. It was just an reference. It was just a phrase that I said because of popular culture. And this is how I bait clicks. This is how you write a YouTube video essay. You make a reference that somebody will get, so that way they go, ha ha, that was really funny, when they're not actually listening to what goddamn word you say. And some simpering loser is saying, hey, you're using the term roguelike wrong. Bruh. Anyway. Yes, it was the plasma beam. Holy heck yeah, that is real good. Thank you. We're done here. Cave Johnson, we're done here. Now, I just basically have to go remember to save immediately because... no shit. But, you see, that was well worth the... Okay, to be honest with you, it technically wasn't because... it's not, like, action... It's very good. It's not real progression. Also, we could have just come back later when we had better resources to do the fight better. But no, I had something to prove. All of you are allowed right now to call me a stupid bitch if you feel like, because it's not wrong. Anyway, we're back here in Sector 2, and I don't 100% know if I can access the boss right now. I mean, I assume I can, but... I mean, stupid worm, then. Larva and worms are not the same. Yeah, I know. I just explicitly said I wasn't necessarily smart, so... In a form of saying so, anyway. What's my... I do have access to that save point, right? I'm gonna have to go around to get to that, huh? Is that what I'm being led to ascertain on my own here? The answer is probably. All I know is my gut says maybe. It's okay, there's a save point right here. That'll do. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Yep. You gotta... See, I'm going to make fun of the fact that you did the command wrong for that one. Because... is that really the time to get the command wrong? Okay, we can make this easier on ourselves, thankfully. Because those are within a range that we can actually see for sure that we can do that. Hooray! Yeah, it's just won't add like... I assume it's just because, well, not only the fact that the streamer bot tutorials are written that way, and I just kind of stole it because it's easier and they're tutorials. It's not like they care too much about that. But also, maybe it's just something with how StreamerBot is programmed that you have to do things that way. Oh yeah, that definitely happened, didn't it? As I get to sit here going, oh. Okay. God, everything hurts right now. Samus, have you considered, like, finding the Varia suit or something? So that way you can have at least one point of defense? What am I doing? I can just do this. That'll fix the problem quite quickly. Now, the way this is... I was going to say, the way this is drawn implies that I can do this, but... say... Would you get out of my way, please? What a jackass. There we go. And that takes us to a recharge room, which is great, because we got another boss coming up. I could really use that. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hey, 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 hey. Yeah. Yeah, this is why it's a good idea to practice doing even stupid shit like what we just did earlier, because you never know when you're going to need to be able to deal with the fact that you have no health. In our case, we're dealing with that fact right now. Basically constantly. Okay, here we go. It's time for another boss. Fuck! Get out of there. Unfortunately, I don't think I can shut those things up. Which is what I was trying to do, but it's just kind of no good. We're just going to have to deal with it. So, yeah, I mean, that's the strategy in this fight, is just fucking deal with it, you know? Put on your sunglasses and deal with it. However... Ooh! That was fast! At least they disappear in the second part of the fight, during Phase 2. Which I guess would also make this a 3-phase boss fight, now that I think about it. Hate that idea. Not because I hate the idea of a 3-phase boss fight, period, but also just the fact that this one feels a little bit long then. Like, yeesh. Is this trip really necessary? The answer is yes, actually. I've played this game before. Of course it is. Game is hard as shit. Alright, see you later. Whoa. Oh, would you already... There we go, that's better. Fill up and... accidentally walk into that thing, but... it's fine. Excuse my belch. I don't even know if it got through, but excuse it anyway. So here's the upside, is that this thing's plasma shots cannot block our beam. Because we have the plasma beam, and it goes through enemies. This is an interaction that I've never seen before, because the very few times that I've done a Metroid Fusion rando, I haven't been lucky enough to have plasma beam against this boss. Also makes it piss easy, so that's cool. Well. Okay, so that was necessary to beat the game. Figures. That's alright. I'd honestly almost forgotten about those, so... In any case, a large part of this area is now significantly more available, and all of those other checks are things we don't have in the rando. Because the crumble room can absolutely eat my entire... something or other. But now I get to go, what can I do? I think my primary option here is going to Sector 6, which we have just ignored for the last 2 hours. Otherwise, we really need Various Suit to do anything in Sector 5. And we need security level 2 in order to do things in a lot of other areas. In fact, green keycard would be the thing that would just crack this right open. A suit isn't necessary, it just makes our life significantly easier. I mean, it's necessary if we want to explore Sector 5, which we might have to, but... aside from that... yeah, we're in here already. We may as well. That's a lot of HP we lost there. Okay, this room is this guy, right? I thought this was the room where we need speed booster for some reason, which doesn't make sense with our space constraint here, but... oh, we need screw attack for that. Never mind. No reason to bother right now. Screw attack required location. Ow. Fuck, these guys are doing a lot of damage to me. Goodness, there's an energy tank there. That's all I've got to say on the matter, really. But I suppose first thing I'm going to go do is I'm going to go and hit the save point real quick. Because we could use that quite a bit. Just in case things get a little bit crappy around here. Because who knows what we're going to be up against. This way is... That's just a power bombs to go backwards. SAX has been through here already. Oh yeah, there was a much closer save. I can't even go in there. I don't have the fucking green key card. God damn it, dude. He needs his fucking green key card. Eesh. He's beat it. Nope. That's it's one of those. Well, my only real recourse at this point, before I have to reset again, well, I can't do nothing here, is to try going around to the back side of this area, which is a bit of a trek, but we might be able to do that. On account of how our item pool is very non-linear in that regard anyway, so... Oh. Well. I'll have to reset position to get out of there anyway. So, now I get to go and take a look at our maps. And go, hold up now. What am I possibly missing? And it's not those two items by Yakuza, because we already know that. There's an item in Sector 1 that we can get. And possibly some other shit that we can get in Sector 1, but... Mostly it's the item off of the lava room that's not hot enough to kill us. So that could be progression. I also can go get the thing that doesn't matter from the one room. That is the wall jump test. Fuck. Kind of curious if we can see the item in here. For that matter, are we allowed to just get it? it's a power bomb tank, so it doesn't matter, but you can, in fact, just get it. No. I thought for sure the health drain would be way too fast for that. Thankfully it's not, but also, again, it doesn't matter in the greater scheme now, does it? And we can't enter the bottom part of the area because he would require the screw attack for that. But here, let's just take a look in here, right? Yeah, just a power bomb tank, as I figured, but hey. May as well grab those, because of reasons. Well, now I'm going to go try Sector 3. We're going to go get ourselves soft-locked in the security room. I think it's a soft lock. I don't think we can get out of there if we get the item and it's not the key card. Okay, we actually don't get stopped here if we take damage, so I'm going to try something a little bit foolish. Oh god. Oh. That's doable. It's not useful to do because of reasons, but it is doable. So that's good to know for the future, I guess. There is unfortunately no safe way out of here for us right now, so back we go. But hey, good to know. Good to know. Good to know that that's a thing. I then may have to go poke around in Sector 5 to see if there's anything else I can do there. The answer is probably going to be that there isn't. Hey. Yeah, this has to be a soft lock if it's not the green card. And it's not. Well, fuck my life. What now? Before I reset, I am going to take a quick look at my options. Up there requires screw attack. Sector 4 has like maybe one thing I can get in the formerly wet area. But that really wants you to have gravity suit for it, actually. So, very distinct possibility that I can't. I've explored as much of Sector 5 as I can before I start freezing to death, and I don't think that's going to... I can't finish Sector 6 because I don't have the security cards. That. Sector 1 is basically completely checked out at this point. Things that I can't get to have excluded. And the same applies to Sector 2, where only the things that I've excluded are not available right now. So, yeah, my options are rather limited. Because if this is not it, I kind of don't know what I... Yes, good, okay. I figured it would be, I just was not necessarily the most certain, because I sort of saw a flash of that before my eyes, of things are about to go completely to shit, and you're about to find out that you chose the wrong settings for this seed, you idiot. Anyway, fill up our stuff. Go here. Save. Turn to start. First thing we're going to do is we're going to go to areas on the deck that we cannot access without our green key card, which we now have. To go the short way, we need screw attack, so we'll just do the comparatively long way. Which is honestly not that long, but hey. Pick that up.
You ever met the kind of people
Rysolve sending me a raid of 8 folks. How are you doing this evening? And my goodness, and a subscription. Thank you very much, Brian. How was the rest of hockey? This is going kind of all right so far. I'm still kind of learning a little bit of some of the stuff that I can and can't do with or without certain items. Because, yeah, I'm a little bit inexperienced. Hell, the last time I played Metroid Fusion Vanilla was several years ago. But I love this game quite a bit, so I figured, why not? Break out of Rando. I gotta go around the other way. Right, you basically have to do a whole circle for this thing, don't you? Because... well, I mean, I can take the easier route because I have the wave beam. But without the items that we have, you're supposed to do some funny business to get there. And that was only worth an energy tank. Well, damn. It's okay. The green key card did open up like half of the ship anyway, so... that is going to lead me to my next goal sooner rather than later. So even if the energy tank is just an energy tank, I mean, that's fine. Can't really complain about those too much. Although it does still just kind of make me think, geez, where's my suit? Where's my... like, anything? Honestly, it's literally just suit upgrades that I'm missing at this point in terms of major items, I think. There are 2 other beam upgrades I can get at this point. I realized, I was like, wait, So I guess what I'm saying here is that I'm significantly more done than I thought I was earlier when I said anything. So that's cool. First of all, let's go get an item from Sector 1, because I see that, and I think it. Oh, no, it needs this. It needs the screw attack. Well, never mind what I was saying earlier. So thinking of this, there is an unofficial randomizer function for Archipelago for Metroid Prime. And I think it is by the same team as did this one, which is the Randovania team. I kind of hope that there's something similar for Metroid Fusion. And again, if it had all the options that this Rando has, that would be really great. Granted, it would probably be a while before I throw this into the running of like, hey, this would actually be a game that I would try out in Archipelago. You know, next time, Brian, that you and the rest of that group get an Archipelago going. Assuming I'm around at the time, because wasn't such good timing for that the last couple of times. It'd just be nice to have a couple other game options to throw in there as things that I could play for such a thing. It's like it's either that or I just go back to again, and I can do that, but isn't that a little boring? It does seem to lead to an item. Ah, yes, I was correct about that. I believe that's our gravity suit, though. Yes! Nice. That, might be more important than Varia suit. I don't know yet. Honestly, they're both pretty good. Both for the defensive buffs they bring and the fact that the extra utility is pretty helpful. Okay, yeah, box guards the data room, so we probably want to actually do that, because that's another potential item for us. Box itself has no drops, which is something of a rarity of boss in this game. Being a bit of a jerk today. Doing a lot of the hopping back and forth stuff, which is quite irritating. See, his hitbox is fucking tiny. I guess if I angled it better, but I'm not very good at telling with any of those angles. Alright, he's dead. Thank goodness. Move your ass. Forward to looking at you. Whoa. Thankfully that doesn't kill you. I don't know why I didn't think about the junk piles there, but hey. Oh. Ah well. There we go. We didn't even have to do the multiple jump there. That is nothing of consequence in the greater scheme, so I'm okay with that. Skipping that for now. Especially because I don't have screw attack, so I kind of have to. Ooh. Forgot about that. Alright, that's still available, and it's the level 4 key card. Okay, well. That'll be why we got Gravity Suit first, I guess, because they definitely want us to go and check out that area, don't they? That area being Sector 4's underwater section. Got to specify which that area it was, because that could be anywhere. Not really worth the effort, but hey. We're here already, so we may as well. Grab that. This room, I think, is... Yeah, this is a hot room, so... Not really a good use of my energy sources to try and do anything there. Probably die before we're able to get any of those items. This way is going to lead, once again, to a whole superheated section. Can't really get too much done there. And now I have to remember the way out here. It's basically just go this way. Right? Yeah, so... And that's, again, an area that doesn't lead to anything of high value, so just no reason for us to brave it right now. Don't have the various suits still. We gotta get that. It's probably in the water area. Although, for that matter, the big thing we need is we need to pick up the other 3 baby Metroids still. I can't believe it. They've managed to incorporate the baby into another game where it doesn't matter. I mean, it matters to the plot, but... I'm pretty sure that average Metroid fan does not care about the plot and wants less of it. I can also go finish Sector 6, I guess. But this is a route where I know that there's a good amount of stuff we can get, and also that I can do this. Because I literally got the item to solve this, like, just a second ago. So... Well, okay, perhaps a little bit longer than that, but still. Those things don't care about power bombs. That's interesting. That's just a missile pack, so we don't care now. Should probably care about doing stupid shit like that. Hey. Yeah, I think my major upgrades that I'm missing right now are just the Varia suit and the screw attack. And I guess also the wide beam and the ice beam, but... Those don't matter that much in the great scheme. I mean, they do, but they don't give us access to new places, so... I'm at least a little bit allowed to disdain them slightly. Ooh, here we go. Excellent. To remain, and... Good lord, that was rough. I was getting really, really hassled there. Pretty heavily. I think I saved recently. In fact, there's another save point right up there. If we wanted it. The way things are going, we might, but hey. Save. We definitely need to do that quite a lot in this area because everything hurts so badly. Yeah, I guess if I wanted to I would have to do it from the other side. Fair enough. Fair enough. Good to know. Yeah, like that thing does almost a whole energy tank's worth of damage in one hit. Eesh. Mini Dragons. And there indeed is the Varia suit. I told you it was going to be in the underwater area. Of course, it doesn't change the look of our suit whatsoever now because we already have the gravity suit. And this is a game where that stuff is entirely palette-based. As far as I can recall, anyway. Hold on, am I not allowed to actually... There we go. I was about to say, am I not allowed to go this way? Is it only a preview of things to come? Really freaking weird, but hey. Stupidest thing I've seen in any yet. But no, I remembered correctly. This way is the way to go eventually. For our missile tank. Yep. Thank you. All right. Let's say this is another maze. It's kind of not. And fittingly, it doesn't really have a very useful reward. Okay, now we're missing really only one major upgrade, and that's the screw attack. Nothing else will really help us get around anymore, and it just is stuff that gives us more damage, which is good, don't get me wrong, but it's not going to make this run get any further than that or anything, you know? Okay, save. Let's go see if we can see what that item is in the other location, because I'm not completely sure how to get it without screw attack. Probably involves some very complicated movement patterns. Or perhaps we can just go around that room. I don't know for sure offhand. Do you know we can go this way? That up. Grab that apparently, and not have such a good time with this one. All right, let's suck it down. There we go. There. How do you like me referencing that, John Romero? Oh, there is the data room to get to also. But I should be able to do that from the other side of proceedings. Another energy tank. That's fine. We could probably use more of those for the future, but hey. It only seems bad because we're so close to the end that we would love to get the last couple of bits of progression in our tank here. This way leads to Sector 6, but it's almost guaranteed to be an area that we cannot enter. This isn't the one that has the item. Yeah. It's behind screw attack blocks, I figured. Okay, that's just an enter. I can get that. That's fine. It's slightly annoying because I gotta kill all of these chuckleheads, but hey. We'll do it. It's probably worth our time and energy. well, really just time in this case, and effort a little bit, because no energy cost on Shine Sparks in this game. Don't know why they did that, but I'm glad for it. Okay. Now we're, like... There's technically one more item we can get here in Sector 4, and I will go for it in just a second, but first things first, I'm going to save. Because in case it turns out to be useless, it's quite far away. So in that case... Oh, you're still here. Hi. I was going to ask you if you got that PvP mount yet, but that was yesterday, so... Never mind, you did get it already. I'd ask how it's going, but you're probably playing either that or, like, something else that being rude. That's video game. Oh, right! Right, because they keep adding more space exploration. Which... I kind of want to be, like, real snide and be like, oh, yes, that's the thing that everybody remembers Final Fantasy for. But there has been a space location in a very large amount of Final Fantasy games, so... Or at least something that is implied to send you to space. Okay, we can't even get that item and it's useless. Good. Yeah, I'm not going to say if they're of quality, but they do have them. Is all I'm saying here. It's significantly less weird than it sounds, it's just not necessarily good. Because, yeah, you went to space in FF1. Or at least what is implied to be in space. And a couple of others of, you know, in the various sci-fi... Basically, Final Fantasy is kind of weird and always has been in various ways. And the more you think about it, this thing that seems like it should be quite off-brand for it is shockingly common. I'm never really sure how to feel about that, to be honest with you. Oh, right, this requires screw attack. That's... I mean, yes, I kind of already knew that. Person whose username is literally a reference to one of them. You never did find... Did you ever find that Epion Gunpla? I can't remember now. I know you were looking for one for a while, and they were all disgustingly expensive. Okay, I should probably correct that. Did you find one that wasn't disgustingly expensive? Because, oh boy. I remember seeing some of those prices, and that was a lot for plastic. Granted, I've seen the prices of some anime figures, and those are also kind of a lot for plastic, but... you know. Oh. Oh yeah, you still have a cutscene to worry about. I thought I was going to come in here and this thing was going to be already wrecked. Yeah. Yeah, because of, well, the fucking tariffs. Which have probably also interfered with me purchasing several things, but I digress. That's kind of an asshole. And yes, this phase is just used the charge beam for some reason. This one, however, this is where we use the missiles. Oh, that wasn't worth it. However, the other items behind here might be, so... Not counted out just yet. Not quite a complete waste of our time, just most of one so far. That's another power bomb tank. Those things are in very large numbers. Ooh, excuse me. Oh. Yeah, well. Not hard to get back up there, obviously. It's like it would have been nice to do a proper escape from there. That's all. Okay, that wouldn't be progression anyway because of that setup. Oh. Get a load of who's back, everybody. Big stupid asshole robots. Ah, damn it. Last one was a little bit off. That's right. Keep doing that, buddy. Oh, we couldn't quite sustain it because he... I guess I just barely fired wrong that one time. Well... Oh. Yeah, alright. I can see that you don't want me to have any items. I get it now. That requires a screw attack. It's a missile tank, but we'll take it anyway. Save. The restricted zone has a lot of stuff here for some reason. That, like, stuff we can use to go backwards. Stuff we can, you know, that we can. This is a one-way thing in the regular game, so I was not expecting to see those screw attack blocks. So I'm a little bit flummoxed and unable to use my words properly here. Excellent. We only need one more baby Metroid in order to get on out of here. Finally, we're almost done with the seed. Hell yeah. Alright, what do you have to tell me? Check to the following locations. Main deck, restricted airlock. We already have that. Aquarium pirate tank. Got that. Xbox garage. So that means that I think they really want me to have screw attack, which means that I have to figure out where the fuck that is. In theory, it's in this area, right? It ain't there, but we'll take that anyway. Okay, let's try resetting the room. See if anything spawns out of us killing this guy. Because it might just be like a sequence of things that you have to kill. Oh shit, it's the gold guy. I don't know how to fight you. Well, it's not that. But I assume it is, in fact, the screw attack that we need to kill that guy. So we can go right back to not being able to do jack shit about him. Oh, it's this guy again. Well. Again, what am I supposed to do about this guy? Just kind of seems like the only real option here is to use the screw attack. I don't have that, so... I'm gonna go double check this. Oh, I have to shoot it in the back, apparently. Okay. I have to hit it from... yeah, I just found that out. I literally just looked that up. That's... Huh. I don't remember that. At all. Good to know, though. Thank you very much, Matt. I don't remember that being a thing, so... I'll tell you how often I'm in this part of the area. So not very. How you're doing? I haven't seen any posts from you today off the top of my head, so I hope you're doing alright. Yeah, he'll start walking before he jumps. So that's kind of your cue to not worry about the... I was gonna say, am I too close, too far? Range is a little bit funky. Yeah, and look at the spoils of victory. No change from yesterday. Oh. Well. At least it didn't get worse, I guess. Well. Not much comfort there, but... Anyway. That wasn't really, there wasn't really anything there. Well, I mean, again, a power bomb is not bad. We used plenty of them in this game, to be honest. So, it's just that it's not progression. We're looking for one last Babby Metroid and one, hopefully one screw attack if we can find it. That would be helpful. because that's the only major power-up we do not have right now. Oh. Wasn't expecting the two. At least they're making us only fight them one at a time. That's good. That'll make my life a little bit easier. Yeah, not much further to go for Ridley. And for those of you who have never encountered this fight before, let me offer a brief bit of a warning. Take your headphones off when we get into this boss battle, because, oh boy, Ridley fucking screams, dude. It's pretty harsh. Which is, it's a very, it's certainly a choice in terms of sound design that they've included this just ear-obliterating scream that they managed to coax out of somebody. On what is honestly kind of like the most sort of like laid-back, funky-sounding version of Ridley's battle theme in the entire series. It is such a clash. But, oh, it's just a missile tank. Damn it! Oh well. We were here, so it was one of the optional leads that we had. So we kind of had to check it. I don't think there's anything in... Yeah, it doesn't even have any item locations there, but I just felt like checking anyway. I guess maybe I wasn't sure if there was something because we could definitely... we'll be fine without the extra health. We can just go straight to this and save. And warp to start. At this point, pretty much the main location that we have anything that I don't know what item it is yet is in Sector 5. Because it took us like 2.5 hours to find the Varia suit, so searching this area wasn't really very doable for a while. Yeah, I just have to remember how this room is shaped and everything, because it's a big room. I don't remember everything. It's literally the only other exit, so... Oh, whoops. Need to do that yet. But there's an item here, so we may as well pick this up. Even though it is just a missile tank. This side leads us out to, yeah, a couple of other items that we... I mean, there is still a heated area in Sector 3 that we can go check. That's still kind of on the table here. We're finding our screw attack, which we're going to require to get to last Metroid baby. Looks like. Yeah, definitely. Ice beam. Better believe we want that. Of course we want the ice beam. That's just more damage. Thank you, Fusion Randomizers, for putting that in. Now it turns our plasma beam green for some reason. Okay. Data room. Yeah, these are two separate rooms, basically. Okay, yeah, the only way to get to that is to go this way. Go back around. I would definitely rather do that before fighting Nightmare. I think that was just a missile tank, yeah. That's okay. That's useful in its own right, too, but... After one thing here, so... Streamers only want one thing, and it's fucking disgusting, etc. I don't think that stays, but I'll find out in a minute. There's a very small amount of blocks in the game where destroying them sticks, and this might be one of them. Yes, actually. I remember the strangest things sometimes. Weirdest little minutia trivia bullcrap ever possibly in the life and that might be a bit of a stretch in terms of how we're using it here. Alrighty. We're up to 155 missiles, which feels like kind of a lot because we've definitely skipped a not small quantity of those missiles, so... Hey. Another power bomb tank. Honestly, I don't even remember how many power bombs you can get total in the game. 60 is just extravagant, really. And for this randomizer as well, that feels particularly large, so... This way. Backwards. At least we should just be able to go backwards. Yeah, okay, so we kill the big spike waivers here. Oh yeah, this place was one of my big roadblocks when I was first testing this out, because I have access to power bombs for a long while, and this room's just a missile pack. I'm not interested in that, honestly. That's too much work. For 5 missiles hitting me. Ah, right. This room. This... I don't know how to do this, which is why it's a good thing that it's nothing important. I probably knew how to do it at one point, I just don't anymore. Okay, right. First thing we can do is we can pick this up, and then we can worry about... It probably does, and it certainly is... There's definitely some items in this game that are very esoteric in terms of the methodology used. This is very much one of those Metroid games where the developers really knew some of the absolutely ridiculous stuff you could do with the engine, and they were like, yeah, we're gonna put some of those into the game. And they are kind of almost ROM hack grade items in some regards, in terms of how you get some of them. And that's not necessarily bad, but it is like, gee, I wouldn't be able to 100% this very easily. Not without years of practice. So I had to take some stuff out of the randomizer roll so that way I can actually beat it. I mean, they're going to find ways to break the hell out of the game anyway, so why not, right? Grab that energy tank. Grab all of those things, and... I don't even really need to use that recharge room. Oh no, I'm missing 2 power bombs for Nightmare. A boss that power bombs don't really do anything on, to my knowledge. Besides, we'll get him back here anyway. Because the eyeballs always drop a red... Excuse me, a red guy. An Ed guy. Alright, here we go. Everyone's favorite. Except for the people who don't like fighting it. Oh yeah, its arms are blocking for that purpose. Game doesn't like when you do that, by the way. Just to clarify. But also, that's probably because it really doesn't expect you to have it here, so they didn't account for any of the amount of lag that would happen. But also, I think even some bosses after you get that kind of lag. Like, Ridley was having some lag issues when I was firing off the diffusion missiles. Obviously, yes, the smarter path here is get on the wall, but I don't really know why I was waiting to do that. Yeah, see, Nightmare is not a hard boss, actually. And I played that like shit, considering. If I had been up on that wall, like, as soon as possible, that would have gone much faster. The big thing is that you take a lot of damage during the phase where you're dealing with the gravity units. It's just because you're kind of stuck between its legs? Yes, we got the screw attack. Okay, let's go finish things. Oh, right, because they're trying to shepherd you straight into Sector 4. We have to do that a little bit differently. They're something all right. Although I guess Nightmare is some sort of, like, weird fucked up cyborg that makes the sound that a cat makes when something really bad happens to it. So maybe we're thinking about this all wrong, trying to even cite any particular type of body part that it could be. Technically, that energy tank would have been useful during the boss, but we were fine without it. However, we're perfectly okay with picking up as many energy tanks as the game will throw at us, because the final boss can still kind of whoop our ass a little bit. Yeah, this is just way to Sector 5. So, assuming that I'm not wrong about what the room name that was attached to it, because all the room names in this are unofficial. Rooms in Metroid Fusion did not have names attached to them. They just were added to it on the map for this just because, well, give you a little bit of ease of identification and make the hints actually kind of helpful. I believe that, like, one of these rooms over is going to be where our thing is. Yes. And it is in a very simple-looking position here. Although... yeah, that's not necessarily the nicest thing to have to do. This is the type of thing that I really suck at. But we got there. Just gotta use the... I'd say you've got to use a feather touch, but I did not. I instead have selected power drive. But also, I have never been to that location in the vanilla game. There are a lot of places in this that I just have never gone to in a vanilla run of Fusion. Because there's not really a lot of time for you to do that. And I often just forget. Go back and get them. Let's save. And we got Charge Beam. We've got 5 baby Metroids. Let's go fight the SAX. The first phase is harder than the second, if I recall correctly. And I did just play one of these semi-recently, so that seems quite familiar. Although, yeah, it's being a lot more aggressive than I had the last time I played this. I don't remember if it, how it does with missiles, so... I think you just have to use the plasma beam, because that was the whole plot point of, oh yeah, you need the plasma beam to even stand a chance. After all the other things, they were like, well, you need this to even stand a chance. Yeah, the ice beam is pretty rough. Okay, the missile just stuns. It's an ice missile. Fair. I think this is a lot of, like, placement, really, in terms of just... And in my case, I was moving using a stick there, so it's also a little bit of let go better. Say phase 2 should be happening kind of soonish. There we go. Yeah, because it'll just do this. It's a bit like fighting Toadman. You get a charge shot, and he just jumps. And now you do have another phase after this where you gotta deal with the Corex, which I forgot about entirely, to be honest with you. But it's the same as every single other beam Corex. Wait till the eyeball opens, and you chuck a missile in there. And it takes a whole 6 hits. And off it goes. Well, we should be able to use these rooms, which is great. I'm going to recharge and save, because we still have the Omega Metroid after this, and that thing can kick our asses. And as much as it's like I've done all of the rando goal here, we may as well go for a proper win, right? And be able to say, yes, I did actually, you know, I beat the whole thing. Because if I didn't do that, you know, under other conditions, it'd be like, well, no timer, which is kind of odd. Right way if I go this way? No, I'm not. Surprised there's no other thing blocking that, because I think usually this area kind of gates off everything except for the right path. Then again, the countdown hasn't started and doesn't start until the boss fight does. So, I guess because it is still an open randomizer, so... Yeah, here's another creature that makes an incredibly horrible noise. Cutscene time. He's wheezing a bit. It's wheezing a bit. They're wheezing a bit. Ah, shit. Alright, now. Oh, you can still hit me while I'm in ball form. Okay, good. You can mash buttons to get up faster. I wasn't sure if that was actually a thing. I was just imagining it. Oh, that was bullshit. That was not good. I guess I don't have to do my charge shots here. I just have to use regular beams, right? Yeah, I gotta do that better, that's all. I don't remember if there's a better trick to dodge the claw other than just don't be there. Because clearly balling up in the corner doesn't work. Don't get small enough.
Propulsion sequence activated. Destination, planet SR 388.
Just jump over. Okay. Yeah, I figured that was probably my only real recourse there, was just to go over the top of it. Or at least just above the claw swipe. But I wasn't sure, because my memory is not all there. This among many other things. Oh, I gotta try to, I guess. Yeah, because I guess the instructional part there is that you're supposed to notice, oh, SAX doesn't charge shot. Okay, yeah, you really cannot get on the other side of the Omega Metroid. There's a fucking wall up there that just hurts you. Try to get on the other side. However, walking into its leg seems to cause you to take less damage at least, so that's helpful information. Turn red. I'm up against the wall pretty literally here. Ugh. I didn't walk into it good enough. That would have at least dealt less damage. In theory. God, I'm really not good at this anymore.
Propulsion sequence activated. Destination.
Yeah, it's pretty much just get in there and do as much as you can. As far as I can tell, anyway. Sure, we're going the right way. Inside. Yeah, okay. Good. That's a good point. Attempt to leave. Slapped. Cutscene play out. Okay, I think don't do that until it's like the very end of the walk forward, because that just resulted in me taking multiple hits. Sort of get in, get out. Don't like try to smack into its leg until you have no other real options. In which case, oh. I was gonna say, we gotta be almost there. I saw it going red and then back up a couple of times, so there we go. Yeah, that is our win there. We beat it. We beat it. About 3 hours, 40 minutes. Let me check. I started. Odd. 3 hours, 39 minutes is when I hit record on that. I started streaming a little bit earlier. But there's also the 10-minute entrance and everything for stream, and sometimes I start off saying something. And yeah, here's all the folks who worked on Mars, which is the name of the randomizer. It's a core in Randovania. Again, I'm kind of curious if that's a thing that I can set up for Archipelago, especially if I can do the right exclusions and everything, because... yeah, then that'd be a thing I could possibly throw at some of them. Main boiler control. So I think Wide Beam was literally in vanilla location. That's funny. And that was the only, air quotes, major item that I missed out on, I believe. And yep. The original Metroid Fusion staff. Well, we saw that when I played this game vanilla back around when Metroid Dread came out, so...